Hi babies, I hope you're ready for bed and you have your pajamas on. It is story time with Mom,
And Pop in the background.
and tonight's story is Are You My Mom? Now once upon a time, there was a bird and she had a hatchling egg and she was sitting on the egg. The egg started cracking, cuckoo, it's moving, cuckoo. So the bird says, oh, my baby, it's almost time for my baby to come. So she decided she needed food for the baby. So she tells the squirrel in the tree, can you watch my baby while I go get some food for it? So she flies away. Boop, 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 boop. The egg trembles again and it cracks. And it cracks with such a force, it opens up and the bird chirps out and he looks into the wide world and he's lonely and he says, where's my mom? And he looks at the squirrel and he says, are you my mom? And the squirrel shut it off down the tree. She was gonna go try and find the mom. So the baby bird was all afraid and he decided to go right after the squirrel down the tree. He goes down and down and down. It was such a long way down for such a little baby bird, but he makes it to the bottom. And at the bottom, not a few blocks, not a few steps away, he sees a kitten. And he says, excuse me, kitten. No, excuse me, are you my mom? And the kitten just looks at him, meow, and walks away. So he says, well, the kitten is not my mom. He keeps walking. Next, he comes to a cow. He doesn't know what that thing is. It just goes moo, moo. He goes, are you my mom? The cow says, move along. I'm a cow. How can I be your mom? Move along. So he does. The little bird scurries along and he moves along. Next, he comes across a car. And he says, I don't know what that thing is, but it stopped. And he goes, excuse me, are you a car? Boop, boop. The car honks, get out of the way. I'm a car. How can I be your mom? So he goes, the squirrel was not my mom. The kitten was not my mom. The cow was not my mom. And now this car thing, it's not my mom either. So he crosses the street, and across the street, he sees the dog wagging his tail. And he walks up to the dog, and he says, I know what this is. Excuse me, are you my mom? And he says, woof, woof. I'm a dog. I can't be your mom. And I'm a boy. Woof. He moves on. So the little baby bird keeps going and going and going, and he looks up and he sees something flying. There's my mom. Hey, mom. Hey, mom. It keeps going right on by. It was an airplane. So then this man comes by. He says, you silly bird, that's an airplane. And before you even ask, I'm a man. I cannot be your mom. Move along, stay safe. So the little bird goes on down the road. He's so lonely. He comes across this big thing that he's never seen. It's making so much noise, and it goes snort, and it scares him. And he tries to run away, and it goes snort, and he's running, and he can't fly yet, so he just has to run. So he's running, and he's so tiny that he can't get out of it. So before he knows it, the snort picks him up, and he goes, oh my God, but wait a minute, I think I'm flying. This might be my mom. Hey, snort, are you my mom? And the snort picks him up and puts him back into the treetop. It was a crane. So he says, that was my mom. And then he's back in his house again. And before long, a bird flies, this graceful, beautiful bird, and he smiles. And she says, hi, son. Do you know who I am? And he says, I know who you're not. You're not that mean squirrel. You're not that snotty cat. You're not a dog. and you're not a man, you're no cow, and you're definitely not that airplane. So that only and the snort put me back. So I know that's not my mom. So that only leaves you. You are my mom. And he cuddles into her and he says, I've had such a long day. I really could use a nap. And he rests his head on her chest and she rubs him. And he falls asleep. Mom, I love you. I love you too. The end. Bye, baby.